All right. I think we are up and running and ready to start for today. Be careful not to hit my fight stick on my desk since I am sitting right below it. But let's go ahead and get everything loaded up and we will jump into Killer Instinct. Alright, haven't used this layout in a bit. Hey, Iconic is here. What's up, Iconic? Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's make sure we got everything set up. Game audio is going to be a little bit low since the theme here is kind of quiet. But as soon as I go into a menu, it'll ramp up and you'll be able to hear it. So we are taking a look at Killer Instinct today, and this is sort of a long prologue or intro to Fight Game Month, which I'm targeting for November right now. I still have to plan out how I want to do content for that month between streams and YouTube stuff, but looking at this game now will be a good intro and primer for people who might not have seen this particular game before. And I know Iconic has played this, so hopefully you'll find some of the discussion here interesting. But Killer Instinct is a fighting game developed originally by Rare. First one came out in the 90s in arcades and Super Nintendo. That's the one I've played the most. There's been a few installments here or there since then, and then it was rebooted in 2013 and was worked on collectively by Double Helix and Iron Galaxy and went through couple iterations and updates and additional characters, and is no longer currently being developed. I don't even think they're doing patches or whatnot, but the community's still pretty alive for this game. I haven't played it in a minute, but it's one of my favorites. So I figured we'd take a look at it today, see how the game works, and then we'll probably revisit it during Fighting Game Month and maybe do some actual live matches. So to start, we should probably break down how this game works, because Killer Instinct is kind of unique. In fact, I think it's one of the more unique properties in fighting games out there compared to some of like the big franchises like your Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat, or even the Arc System series, Guilty Gear, BlazBlue. Killer Instinct kind of stands out on its own, and we'll talk about why today. So let's see, we'll go into practice. So the roster in KI is pretty robust. Between all of the updates and the characters that they released, the original launch was, how many was it? 1, 2, 3. Oh, might have been the entire top row. I think that's how they separated it here. But they had 9 or 8. Can't remember how many was in the first season or first iteration of the game. It's been so long. But since then, they filled out character seasons, added more, did some tweaks, and kind of refined things with the game until you get the roster you see here. Hey, True Dorito Dragons here. Dorito says, Raku, you're a Twitch man, right? By Twitch man, you mean a regular streamer here on the Twitch platform? Yes. I started on YouTube when I first debuted as a VTuber. Archives of those old streams with the first version of my model are on my YouTube channel in the archives. They're not super compelling, but yeah, I primarily stream here on Twitch. So fire away if you got questions. Iconic says, yeah, I think top row minus Shadow Jago. So what they did was they pretty much brought back every single character from the first game and a bunch from the second and retooled them and added a whole bunch of new ones and some crossover characters, like guest characters from other properties, since this was originally an Xbox exclusive game, which is how you get characters like General Ram from Gears. They also got Rash from Battletoads, another rare property. And Arbiter from Halo. And so I think the best way to break it down would be to just go into a practice match and show how the combat, all the interface and stuff works. Because again, this game functions on a system that's kind of unique, and I don't think any other game has a combo system like KI. It's kind of its bread and butter and what made it really stand out. I may have mentioned this previously when we've talked about fight games. We talk about a lot of fighting games here. It's one of my favorite genres. My main is Mr. Boney Man, Spinal. One of the OGs. I did not main this character in the original Killer Instinct because he was kind of hot garbage. It was very difficult to play well. Oh, they gave my Boney Boy some really cool tricks in this, and he's a lot of fun. So he'll be our demo case. We'll go random. Oh, Shin Hisako. Dorito says, okay, I don't stream, so I was wondering if I would be able to stream a YouTube movie. Example, in space with Markiplier and have people vote on where to go. Would that be against Twitch TOS? If you're talking about streaming a YouTube movie on Twitch, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm pretty sure YouTube properties are still DMCA'd on other platforms. In fact, I know that's the case because I've seen flags for YouTube videos that I've put on Twitch streams before that weren't actual properties, just owned by other people. And just watching them on stream gets them flagged. So I wouldn't do that. If you want to stream a community event and avoid getting flagged, I would do it on like a community Discord or something that's not on like a big public platform like Twitch or YouTube, because otherwise you run the risk of getting nailed. Dorito says that guy's got a massive boner and a shield and a bandana and a kilt. He's essentially an undead pirate skeleton man, and Spinal's pretty fun. He's kind of goofy. His auto run has him cackling like a madman, which is kind of his staple. Dorito says, okay, awesome, won't do it. I just wanted to get a second opinion. Thank you, Dad. No problem, son. Do your homework. Alright, KI. Main interface. This is a 6-button fighter. So it has 6 inputs for attacks. Light punch. Medium punch. Heavy punch. Light kick. Medium kick. Heavy kick. Some characters can double jump. Not all of them. Spinal can't. I can't remember who air dashes, if anybody. Air dashing is not a universal like some of the faster anime fighters or like a MVC or versus type game. No air dash. And no air blocking either, I believe. Blocking is grounded. We'll probably test that when we mess around with some actual matches with computer. 6 buttons. Persistent dashes for most of the cast on the ground. Back dashes also tend to vary by character. Some have more of a hop, like Spinal. Some can move much faster. Dorito says, but Dad, I'm 25. You still gotta eat your vegetables. Unless you're off my insurance plan. Then you can do whatever you want. Alright. So, special moves. KI functions very similar to most standard fighting game inputs. Right, you have Hadouken movements, and I don't have an actual movement prompt on screen that shows where I'm hitting with the stick. That's okay. Quarter circle forward, like a Hadouken. Yeah, I have quarter circle back inputs. This is a big swipe with the sword. I'm not going to do a top to bottom on the entire move list of the characters. I'd rather show off how someone played differently, but we won't go through all of the hit data, all of the specific things. This is really meant to be an intro. Drew says, Oh, Daddy Raku, I'm still sick, so I gotta rest. Have a great stream. Say hi to mommy for me. Alright, Dorito. Take it easy. I hope you feel better. Thanks for popping in. So character inputs for specials, again, pretty standard. Some are back to forward. Spinal doesn't have any. We'll probably look at some characters later that do. Hey, first time chat from Cheesecake Happy. Cheesecake Happy says, bro, finally someone streaming this game. I have not kept up on the community for KI. I've been playing this game since it came out, off and on. I haven't played it in a while, but it's one of my favorite series. I know competitively they still do events for it, but it's still a fun game. And I think if I went online to try and play against people, I would get absolutely murdered because the only people that are actively playing it are probably the top tier competitors. But we talk about fighting games a lot on the channel, so I wanted to take a look at it today and show off this game that's still live and kicking since 2013. So welcome to the stream, Cheesecake. Alright, so we talked about specials. Again, pretty standard fare. Spinal himself, he's got a projectile, which is more of a pop with the Hadoken motion. Backwards, Hadoken, quarter circle back, that's a swipe. Quarter circle forward, kick is this tackle with his skull shield, which is like this living Cthulhu-esque shield. Very cool. If you hit quarter circle back and kick, he has several different teleports. Light is a fake out. Doesn't move. Just pops up in the same place. Medium moves forward, right at the opponent. Hard switches sides. So you can play some mix-ups with his ability to port around the map. And Spinal is kind of unique in that he has resources. He's a resource character, which means he has to accumulate certain things to be able to use them. So real quick, before we get into the combo system, which is going to be the most technical thing I got to explain about this game, let me get some resources first to show what they do. Now let's get a few more. Alright. I'll explain how the combos work in a sec, don't worry. So when you end combos with his quarter circle forward ender, we'll talk about enders and all that as part of the explanation. Spinal gets these little glowing green skulls that orbit around him, and they sort of chill out in the background. Cheesecake says, I don't know how to combo. Well, we will talk about that in a short order here. I'll explain how the combo system works, and hopefully it'll make sense. It's really fun once you get a chance to mess around with it. It's easily the most interesting thing about this game. So once you've accumulated skulls through either using his ender with the fireball, and the big glowing skull is the visual hint that it went off. You can also use his power devour, which is back light punch. This thing will soak and absorb an opener or a projectile, and I think high-low. And it stocks one of the skulls every time you absorb something with this. It doesn't absorb regular hits, I don't think. I don't even think it blocks. It's just meant for eating things to accumulate skulls. Cheesecake says, I used to be one of the best players, but I stopped playing for like a year. I used to play this game a lot right when it first came out on Steam. I used to play it online quite a bit. I never got to like killer tier. The grind was pretty real, but this game is pretty fun at a competitive level. So once Spinal has skulls, you can use his quarter circle forward punch input, the Hadoken input, to launch one of them. Light shoots a little purple skull low. And these do debuffs. I'd have to go look up what they do. I believe the purple one saps Shadow Meter, which is why Hisako's Shadow Meter is glowing red. We'll talk about Shadow Meter in a sec. Medium sends one of these things forward at mid-level, and heavy sends one coming from skyward, and is one pretty good mix-up tool, or a way to get people to sort of block or get caught off guard, and you can combo into things. It's pretty handy, and I gotta get more skulls. In addition to being able to throw the skulls like projectiles, a couple of Spinal's special moves change when he consumes one of his existing skulls. And one of those moves is his sword sweep, quarter circle back. If you hit quarter circle back heavy, it consumes one skull, but you get two swipes. Cheesecake says, I normally play as Jago. Jago's pretty solid. The entire cast is solid. Considering Jago was garbage tier in the original arcade version of KI, he's a lot of fun in this. Very high level competitive character. His around the world combo system is pretty cool. I suck with him, but he's great. Very powerful. Alright, so using the heavy version of the swing consumes one for a double swing. You can also use a heavy version of his tackle to burn one of the skulls, and I believe it's slightly faster. And let's see, can it be canceled? I believe it's faster and cancels easier, but it burns a skull every time you use the heavy once he's got them. Another kind of neat thing that you can do when you have a skull in order to burn that heavy and get it to kind of link is you can go teleport and go straight out of the teleport into the tackle. So what that looks like is if you want to fake someone out, you go teleport immediately into heavy tackle. It will look like. It would look like that. Basically, you teleport, pop out instantly, and if you can catch someone off guard, then it's pretty much an opening for combos. Hey, another first time chat from Fang34128. Fang says, Hadouken. What's up, Fang? Welcome to the stream. We are looking at Killer Instinct 2013. Cheesecake says, anyone play PVZ Garden Warfare? I have not. I've played the first PVZ and the second one. The original versions of the game before they did the shooter thing. Alright. So we talked about normals briefly, specials, and then we talked about the resource mechanics for Spinal specifically. So now let's talk about combos. For people who haven't seen this before, this is the bread and butter of KI. Unlike other fighting games that are either Gatling or chain combo based, where you basically string normals together to create combos, and every one of them does that quite differently. You know, Street Fighter compared to Guilty Gear compared to Mortal Kombat, all of them have different combo systems of how you string together multiple attacks. Killer Instinct does, in what I've seen, the most unique take on this, in that it's an actual system. Kind of, you think of it kind of like an order of operations. You have things that open combos, and then things that can link between combos, and then things that end combos in real simple rudimentary explanation. And it doesn't mean that's the universal way they work, but to kind of demonstrate, if you have an opener, which is some sort of special move with an input, Spinal's key opener is the tackle. It's not his only one, but it's one I use a lot. We use medium. Quarter circle forward kick. After you hit or land the opener, you can hit one of his other normals to get what's called an auto double. An auto double is 2 hits that chain together after the opener to extend the combo into the next phase. Hey, Edward's here. Edward says, PVC Battle for Neighborville was free on PS Plus, so I played that one. Ah. Welcome, Edward. Good to see you. And Edward has redeemed a Raku Factu. Alright, before we move on here, let me pull up the fact list. I need to add to the fact list. It's getting low. Alright. Here's your real world fact. I had mentioned in a previous fact that I started gardening for the first time in like the last year. This year, your fact is I managed to harvest my first crop of tomatoes. And I need to post that on Twitter. I'll do that at some point if I don't forget, so you guys can see. I've actually grown my first crop of tomatoes. And that was the first time thing this year, this warm season. So I'm going to put this on the list. They were Roma tomatoes. And they turned out pretty well. I think I want to try and grow cherry tomatoes because they're a little bit easier to use in salads and caprices. But there you go. We gardening. Hey, Sour Lad's here. What's up, Sour Lad? Welcome to the stream. Alright. Combo explanation. So we talked about auto doubles. Here's what it looks like. If I do this is light to light. So if I do light opener with the tackle, and then I hit light punch, Spinal will poke twice with his sword. That's an auto double. And that's a triple combo, 3 hits. The way the combo system works is, after you hit an auto double, you can input another command to do what's called a linker. And linkers are a special move input for most characters, maybe with a couple exceptions, and they further extend your combos. So if you think of the flow, opener, auto double, linker, and then the auto double again, what that looks like is something like this, and we'll use we'll go medium sword sweep as the linker, and we'll see if we can get this to show up. Let's see. Is that medium? Hey, medium. Okay, it's a little bit fast. I think I'm actually doing the linker and the auto double right after. Cheesecake says, I just beat Shadow World. Nice. Good work. Saralad said, fair warning, don't underestimate the production. Don't underestimate the production of the cherry tomatoes. You'll get a lot of fruit. Yeah, that's fine. I can use it for a lot of stuff. The Romas, again, they're good, but I like the taste and texture of cherries or plums better, so I'm going to try and grow those next warm season. The pot that I used was too small, so the scaffolding on it wasn't tall enough, so a bunch of the top parts of the plant bent and broke. So had that not happened, I probably would have gotten more tomatoes. I had to kind of tie it up, and I just needed a bigger pot. I won't make that mistake next year. Fang says, got a combo you can put in if you want. Sure, you can drop it. I'm going to kind of explain the more lengthy combos in a sec. It's difficult to do slowly because the combos come out fast. But we talked about opener, auto double, linker, auto double, and then the way you close combos out is with an ender. And enders are just the super inputs again at the end of a combo to get a knockdown. It's either a knockdown, a bounce, or a push. Some state that knocks the opponent over and ends the combo. And we'll talk about optimizing damage in a sec. Again, this is the most technical part of KI, but it's also the most interesting. So if we go... Let's see. Go medium. Oh, I forgot he can do manual doubles too. Spinal might not be the easiest character to demonstrate this with, but we'll do our best. So the Ender was the big green skull, which also gives him his resources. Saralad says, would you try to grow some herbs? I do grow herbs too. I mentioned the tomatoes just because I've never harvested tomatoes before. But I also grow basil, rosemary, and onions, green onions. And I think my basil's just about done. But I wouldn't mind growing some rosemary or thyme. My rosemary or some sage or thyme. Sage, thyme, or oregano. Rosemary's doing good. Just need to make sure it doesn't freeze when it gets cold here. Alright, Fang says... Core circle forward, medium kick, light punch, core circle back, medium punch, high, heavy kick, down. Okay, yeah, that's sort of what I was doing. And then ending on heavy fireball ender. So if we can mess around with the combinations of doubles, linkers, and everything else, you get a real free-form combo pattern. And allows you to do a lot of real fun stuff. Like that. 13 hits. And let me see if the training tutorial actually shows where the damage goes. This is the cash out mechanic I haven't looked at. Okay, there it is. If you look at Hisako's life bar going down in the upper right, there's a white portion that empties out and slowly starts decreasing, and then if I stop, then it sort of recovers. That is the cash out portion of the combo, and what that actually does is link to that little diagram that appears below my bar whenever I'm hitting something, and it doesn't stay, but you can see it's a bar that fills up, and it's got 4 little green pips on the bottom. That's the combo meter. When that thing is full, it means you're capable of doing the maximum amount of damage, but only if you do a heavy ender before you knock the opponent over. Basically, it's a protection system built in so that you can't just hit someone forever. If you fill that meter up, eventually they'll just fall over and the combo will end. So you have to end that combo before you overload that meter, essentially. Edward says he's speaking the language of the gods. I understand it's really technical, but I'll try and make it make sense because, again, this game's really neat to talk about. And it's not nearly as complicated as you would think. It's really easy if you just try it out and practice. But let's see if we can get a completely cashed out combo. Real quick, let's talk about the shadow meter. Shadow meter fills up as you hit things or get hit. This is basically EX moves. For people who have played things like Street Fighter or other things that have reinforced attacks. If you hit your special input, like a Hadouken, forward or backwards for a special move, and you hit 2 buttons instead of 1, you get a shadow move. So for his skulls, big yellow one, this saps instinct. We're in training mode, hers is not moving anywhere, it's fine. But in addition to that, you can use that as part of a combo to make your linkers stronger. Shadow linkers is what they're called, I believe. And doing so increases the length of the combo and also makes it a little bit easier to string your heavy enders so you can actually cash out all that damage you're racking up. So let's see. If we do something like that, that's not going to get a knockdown, but it will allow you to land that fireball right point blank as part of the combo. But let's see. We will do a similar version of the one Fang pasted in there. We'll go with the medium kick. Let me refill my meter. And right there, even though I didn't mean to do it right in that second, when the screen turns blue and the camera switches like that, it means you've done a heavy ender successfully and cashed out before the meter emptied. that means you've done optimal damage with your combo. And it's good that there's a visual indicator, because otherwise the matches are so fast you normally probably wouldn't be able to tell. But let's see, we can do it like this. The shadow move in the middle there is the tackle, which you can use again to extend more hits. Like Fang is saying, you can do it with the sword too. Build more meter. Quarter circle back, 2 punches. In the middle of a combo, we'll do the shadow version of the sword swing, and that looks like this. You get several big swings with the sword, and then I finished with the Fireball Ender to get more of the skulls. And so taking this sort of free-form combo system, you could play around with the combinations of openers, linkers, doubles. Spinal has these spectral auto doubles. We won't really get into that. That's a bit more complex than we need to talk about here. But doing that allows you to kind of work through all these different tools. And that's more or less the flow of matches in KI. Again, I'm beating an AI that's just standing here. But for the sake of illustrating what we're doing, let's see, get some more meter. That's one. Okay. For that Fireball Ender, you don't have to use heavy. It could be anything as long as the meter is full and ready to cash out. And lights with throws. Didn't show that off yet. His throw also gets him a skull too. I forgot about that. Regular throw, back throw, change directions. A lot of Spinal's game is misdirection, using his resources and his debuff status with the skulls to kind of control and lock down, and then use his mobility and speed to get in for combos. Kai also has an interesting system, kind of like the original, it just works better here, where you can move, cancel normals and other specials. So this is heavy, big stab with the sword. You can basically hit confirm cancel once the move comes out into one of his openers and then go straight into a combo. You don't always have to open with an opener. You can chain it right off a normal if you do it fast enough. So again, pretty open-ended. There's a lot you can do with that system. I want to briefly show off combo breakers. I am not an expert at this, but there's a kind of neat training mode they added somewhat recently. Let's look at that real quick. Fang says, I thought you were talking about the dash cancel. Yeah, certain moves can be dash canceled depending on the character. But just special input canceling is pretty handy too. That's not something I even realized you could do in the first Killer Instinct way back in the day until I tried it. But it's kind of neat. Basically, if you have a move come out and you throw a special input fast enough, you can cancel the animation frames and have something like an opener come out instantly and start your combos that way. Alright. We'll stay with our boy. This was not in the game last time I played it. No, we'll do beginner. Ultra's bananas. That's not going to really show off what I want to explain here. So, in addition to all of the offensive tools that KI has in its combo system, we'll let Fulgor sort of beat on us while I explain this. You also have the combo breaker system. If you've been on the internet long enough and you've seen people yell out combo breakers in forums, came from Killer Instinct back in the day. I don't know if a lot of people know that. But when an enemy is hitting you with a combo, depending on the strength of the moves they're using in the combo hits, there are specific windows within that combo that you can break and stop their combo. The prompts I'm getting here as part of the training, it's showing me either light, medium, or hard, and the window in order to break them. If you do it out of that window, you'll get locked out and be defenseless. If you use the wrong strength of attack, you'll get locked out and you'll be defenseless. But if you do it successfully, it knocks the enemy over and ends their combo. And I don't think this thing lets you practice counter breakers. I wish it did, because that's also pretty useful. We won't talk about that for now. That's kind of an advanced technique. But basically, in order to get good at combo breakers, you have to be familiar with the types of hits that the enemy is going to use. Generally, faster hits are going to be lights. Kind of middling speed ones that are fast, not as fast as lights and not as slow as heavies, are going to be mediums. And the heaviest hits and the slowest ones are going to be heavy input. And so doing the input at the wrong time gives you the specific color lockout and you're defenseless. Doing it out of time gives you that kind of silver looking one, and that's another basically helpless state while your opponent beats on you. But if you do it right, you can get out of the combo and recover. And I got decently good at this for a while when I was playing this a lot. But it's been so long. If I tried to play a competitive match now, there's no way I'd be able to accurately predict. I'd have to rock, paper, scissors it. And the computer is also getting prompts. If I set the AI higher, the computer will be smart enough to break my combos. So we can show what that looks like. We'll set it on Ultra. Super smart computer. It's also going to give me less time to respond. I think because the difficulty is set higher, it's only flashing that window for a little bit, so you have to act fast. Alright, hit me. Mediums. Whoop. Heavies. Lights. Mediums, miss the window. Surprised the computer's not breaking those. Maybe it's a different setting. Fang says, it's all about timing and reading the movements, especially tricky if the opponent is doing a manual combo. That is correct. So we're not going to really get into manual doubles and a lot of the more higher level things here, because I'm not super qualified to speak on that, because I'm not super good at it. But what Fang is saying is correct. No matter what type of opponent you're fighting, once they start getting combos off, you have to be able to read what they're doing and know to throw your breaker inputs at the right time, and also be able to accurately call what strength you're going to need. Because if you screw it up, then you have a massive opening, and you'll just get countered and comboed again. And part of the strategy that I've seen involves mixing up the strength of your buttons. So you're not always going to do lights every single time. You're not always going to do heavies every single time. Because then your opponent's going to predict, okay, this person likes mediums or lights or heavies. They always do that. I'm going to throw that breaker. So instead, you want to learn to mix things up so that it's harder to predict. And then by that token, you've got to learn what the moves look like for all the different characters. So it's tricky. It's definitely not an easy game to master. But at the same time, there's a lot to learn and figure out, and a lot of really free-form tools, which makes it pretty fun. There's the swing ender. Iconic says, Fulgor's design goes hard, whether new or old. Oh yeah, Fulgor's design in this game is awesome. It was pretty iconic in the original. It was a bit more bulky, kind of like a big, kind of bulky robot man. In this game, they kind of went full Terminator. Made him a bit more kind of trimmed down. You could see like the muscle fibers. And he has the big nuke you to death chest laser. Okay. Let's take a look at another character. I'm not going to go through the entire cast. I'd rather do some arcade matches and actually demo the stuff we're talking about here. But we'll look at another character just to kind of show off the difference in mechanics, because each one of the characters here plays very differently. They all kind of use similar move pools of inputs, but their mechanics and fight styles and strategies are all very, very different. Like Iconic was saying earlier on in the stream, KI's got a super diverse cast. There's no carbon copy characters, with the exception of some extra ones that are kind of meant to be kind of like clones that are slightly different. Kilgore's one. Shin Hisako's kind of similar in a way, but all the other characters are very, very unique. Shadow Dragon and Omen, a little bit similar, but there are exceptions. Everyone else is pretty unique. Let's take a look at my secondary. I haven't played her in forever. Maya. Maya is from KI 2. Oh, no. I gotta brush up on Maya. It's been a long time, but I used to play her a lot competitively. Fang says Maya's fun. Oh yeah, no doubt. Maya's awesome. Considering she was pretty much just a throwaway, like, female character in KI2, they gave her a really interesting set of mechanics, and obviously she got redesigned. She's kind of like got like South American warrior vibe, and the two daggers. It was really interesting when they said they were bringing the character back. I was really curious to see what they did, and they made her a lot of fun. All right. Wait, now I gotta remember. All right. So compared to Spinal, Maya is a little bit faster. She doesn't have a forward dash. She has a roll instead, and a backflip. No air mobility. Her normals are quick. She hits very fast. and her primary mechanics all center around her daggers. And boy, it's been so long. You can see the meter down in the lower left above my shadow. She actually has additional sort of resources and meter that she gains using her daggers. And now I get to remember which one does what. I think it's light first, and then dark. Someone who's played this character more recently can correct me, because again, it's been forever. It's been years since I've played KI in general. Quarter circle forward tosses them, and then they fall at the feet of the enemy. In order to pick them up, I don't think there's a specific button input just to grab them, but if you do her quarter circle forward kick, her forward flip, she picks them up. Could she throw them in the air? Yes, she can throw them in the air. Quarter circle back is this upwards kick, kind of like a Shoryu. Same type of function, but it's backwards Hadouken input. How do I do the follow-up? Okay, quarter circle forward, in addition to picking up the daggers, works as a pretty good opener. Fang says light knife, light punch, dark knife, medium punch, both knives, hard punch. Gotcha. Okay, so it's button strength. Yep. And then dashing will also pick them up. That's right. Okay. Slowly coming back to me. Okay, she's got command normals, forward heavies, this sort of stabbing, sweeping attack. Let's see. The flip is her ender, I believe. One of her enders. You can't link with that, I don't think. Let's see, can she shadow with the daggers? Yep. That puts them both out, and that fills the meter. Remind me, Fang, since you obviously know this character better than me. Her meter, is that tied to just instinct? Because I know what she can do with those daggers is affected by her instinct mode, which we haven't really looked at yet since I don't have any meter. I'd have to set it. Okay. That's one ender. When you do the shadow version of the dagger throw, that's what causes them to bounce off and fly to the other sides of the screen. And if you try and attack without them, she just has melee hits. I'm gonna look at her command list too. Fang says, the knives meter does not matter to instinct. It matters if the opponent is blocking. The more they block, the more pips you get. Yeah, I remember that. I'm talking about actually using the pips. Are they used only in instinct? Oh, okay, I see. Fang says, do you said pips? Quarter circle forward, heavy punch. Alright. Oh, okay, that's right, that's right. So you have augmented version of the projectiles that uses those pips. There's 2 for light, there's 2 for heavy, or 2 for light, 2 for dark. And the opponent has to be blocking. So I think if you use the shadow version and they're blocking, it just maxes the meter out. Test that here. Yeah, that's a lot of blocked hits. And I believe they cash out all at once when you do that. I did see Fangs mention further up about mobility with dashing and jumping. You can move pretty quickly with Maya. She just doesn't have a dedicated air dash. Let's see. I used to know all the good combo paths for basically doing the dagger tosses in combo and then using the flips to move and pick them up at the same time. I used to be pretty good at that. Yeah, kind of like that. Actually, my combos end. There we go. Oh, that's right. I forgot you can do that as an ender too. I think you can only do that when the meter is full. Oh, I forgot you can do that. Let's fill the meter up. So what I was doing there was comboing and ending with the heavy quarter circle forward dagger throw. That tosses them out and they will hit above the enemy and bop them in the head a couple times for set duration and then they'll pop back down. So if you like a speedy character with resource mechanics that can set up control things around the field and lay on a lot of hits while flipping around, then Maya's your girl. She's vicious if you play her correctly. Even if you don't play her correctly, like I'm just messing around with here, she can do a lot of really fun stuff. Okay. I might have been wrong on that ender. I think it's just the heavy ender automatically puts them up to smack you in the head. Let me test that. Oh, there they go. I see Starlight has redeemed a stretch. Alright. Oh, my back. Looks like heavy punch ender puts the daggers up. It's good to know. Alright, so that's Maya in a nutshell. One thing we have not looked at, I forgot to do this with Spinal, maybe we can go back. We haven't looked at probably the most infamous thing in KI's Legacy that everybody has probably seen at some point if they played a fighting game. Ultra combos. And let me see if I can set... Let's see, where's my bumpers? I'm not using an Xbox controller, so now I gotta make sure. There we go. Health max 20%. If I do this and throw an input, will it work? Let's find out. Alright, so back to commands. Command list. I don't remember her ultra. I gotta look it up. Quarter circle forward plus 3 kicks. So when you're on the final round of the match and you do enough damage to get the opponent into danger status, which is like the last 5 or 10%, you see the borrow flash and the actual game will say danger. If you throw an ultra input during that time, you get an ultra combo. So let's see if it works in practice. I haven't done this in forever. Let's do this. There we go. Nope. We don't get the cool dramatic music things that go along with the combo that are usually keyed to the stage, and then a whole bunch of stuff starts popping off in the background of the stage when you do that. Basically, ultras are a big, auto, massive hit combo that destroys the enemy as a kind of stylish, dramatic flare finish for the match. And ultras are super fun. Usually competitively, people don't do them unless they really want to style on somebody. But each character has a different activator for their ultra and has a different combo. And so Maya's is a lot of flips, a lot of smacking you with the daggers and whatnot. And then you get this big launch at the end. And then you have the kind of big finisher at the end. If you hit 2 mediums, you have an ultra finisher, and you have to time it. I missed. Hers is like that lateral drop kick. And if you hit that, it's a final hit for ultimate style points. Let me see if I can fix one thing. Let's do this. We haven't talked about instinct mode, but I should probably mention it. Instinct is kind of like your X factor from Ultimate MVC. It fills up as you take damage, and if you throw hard punch, hard kick, you go into a special boosted mode for a while that changes things about the character until it depletes and then goes away. And for Maya, it allows her blades to come back to her. Which is kind of cool. It means you can start tossing them from anywhere and they won't get stuck on the bottom of the screen. And if you do stuff like that with the shadow version of her daggers, they'll just bounce back up and get back to her hand. And it's on infinite, so it's not going to go away. Maybe I should just do 100% so it's not in constant state. Yeah, refill. Fang says, instinct is also gained when you break combos. Yes, that is also true. I forgot about that. Usually, you'll get 1 instinct, maybe 2 per match. And then after that it depletes. So we're talking about ultras, and I'll mention why I set the instinct like that in a sec. So let's say you're doing a standard combo. Need shadow. Oh, my shadow meter's empty. Let me fix that too. We'll just make it infinite, just for the sake of showing off this particular kind of additional thing with ultras. So let's try and get a lengthy combo. And then we throw the ultra. Keep an eye on the hit counter in the lower, or the left side. Oh, I missed. So not only can you throw the ultra after you've done a lengthy combo, if you throw instinct mode while the ultra's going on, it will cancel. The character will go into instinct mode. You will be able to restart your combos, and you can throw ultra again for a double ultra. And if you want to talk about ultimate style and disrespect, if someone does that to you, it means they really want you to know they beat you. Well, let's see if I can actually do it correctly here. There we go. Ah, come on. That would have been 88. Fang says it's rude when it's triple if you know how to recapture. Yeah, it's technically possible to do a triple if you recapture. I can't do that. I've never tried. I've seen it done. Everyone can do a double just using instinct mode, but that aspect of the game it's really fun. Like, competitively, generally, unless you want to pop off, you don't really see a lot of ultras unless people really want to show off. Fang says forward, heavy kick. Oh. I forgot she has that forward flip. I didn't look at the full moveset, so that's probably why. Can you recapture off of a regular ultra with that? Ah. Yeah, I haven't really messed around with recaptures. That's interesting. That means you gotta time that forward heavy kick before they hit the ground. I don't think I know the timing well enough to do that. Yeah, kind of interesting. It's a couple seconds before they hit the ground. Whew, yeah, I guess that's a real specific timing. But to Fang's point, if you get the recapture, pull him back down on the ground, combo him again, throw the ultra again, instinct cancel for 3, and then by that point the opponent has already probably left. Possibly rage quit. Let's go look at Spinals, since that was the character I started with. Since I plan on doing KI again in the future, specifically for Fighting Game Month, if people want me to do like a showcase for all of the ultra finishers and ultimates too for characters that have them, if that's something people want to see, then I can look at doing that on stream too. OG Glacius. Alright, what's yours? Quarter circle back kicks. Okay. Alright, let's let this one play. Oh, that comes down fast. Alright. Boom. And there's a finisher. Just a big skeletal fist. It's pretty fun. We could try to do an ultra, a double ultra. Ah, got him off the ground. Also worth mentioning, since we didn't see instinct mode for Spinal before, in this mode he regenerates skulls passively over time while the instinct mode is active, and his skulls bounce if they block. Let's toss a bunch of these out here. It takes a second for them to... Oh, did they take that out? I could have sworn he regenerated those passively. Maybe not. Maybe they took that out. Alright, let's see if we can get a whole bunch of them on screen. Yeah, basically it becomes bullet hell in instinct mode for Spinal. Fang says, yeah, the nerfs to him when he doesn't generate skulls. Aw, okay. That sucks. Ooh, I need to throw that at a different spot. Either before or after the uppercuts. Yeah, before the uppercuts. Otherwise, they will get knocked off their feet, and it'll be difficult to get the double and instinct cancel. Alright, let's do that one more time. There we go. Bonk. Huh. What is that? I don't have combo assist on, do I? I'm just hitting forward M. Why is it going into a combo? Oh, maybe I put that on by accident. Fang says upon spectral hit, he can generate 2 skulls. Even soul absorption will gain more. I guess that sort of makes sense, but it didn't seem like it was super OP that he generates them automatically using his instinct mode. I don't think Spinal is considered one of the top tier competitive characters in KI. Definitely not bottom tier. But compared to some of the other ones, it didn't seem like he had any OP tools to me. But, I don't know. Alright. Let's head back to the main. And of course, I got nothing unlocked. The original save that I played this game on was not on this account. This one's completely from scratch and brand new. That's why it's level 1. Well, let's do some arcade. Unless there's a specific character someone wants to see just as an intro type thing. Maybe we do some arcade mode and actually demonstrate what we've been talking about this whole time with some actual opponents. Hey, Red Dragon's here. What's up, Red Dragon? How you doing today? Welcome to the Killer Instinct stream. Let's see. Story mode? I thought there was a general arcade mode. Maybe not. Oh, that's right. You have special unlocks and conditions and things you do along the way as you run through a bunch of opponents. It's like an arcade mode, and if you do these things, you unlock different endings. That's right. And you get a picture of the graphic in the back. Oh. There's combo assist. We don't want that on. Alright. We'll go through with Spinal. Basically, Spinal's a resurrected undead warrior that was brought back to life, and they originally wanted him to do their bidding. I think he got loose, and he was sent to find the Mask of Ancients. We'll find out if that worked out. Combo. They did some interesting stuff to TJ as well.
Think you got what it takes to beat the champ? Come on! Ready.
Slide down heavy. Aw. Oh, that's right. He's got the resurrect. Trying to throw my ultra. There he goes. You can also end it short by just hitting the mediums, which you normally use for the ultra ender. You can just cut the combo off if you don't want to watch all the hits. I'll do it for the next ones. Just want to show off that particular feature. Iconic says, really wish guest characters had story modes. Always love trying to justify being there. Yeah, the budget for the later stuff was not quite as robust as they were getting towards the end. Would have been cool to see them flesh a lot of that stuff out. Alright, we got Clever Girl, Riptor. Riptor is probably my third character. She's pretty fun. I should be using his Devour. You hear the music super. Oh, I think I still got the hit. Thanks, I've got to do them dive kicks. I tend to alternate between dive kicks and the slide, that low slide that Spinal does. They're a little bit unsafe though if you do it a lot. He's really weak on block if you do the dive kick. Hisako. Hisako is a new character to this game, and she's really cool. She's probably my fourth. I play a good majority of the cast in this game. She's a lot of fun. She's essentially a Japanese ghost. Sander. There it goes. Aww. You get a bunch of storm effects that start going off in the shrine behind when you do an ultra on this stage.
Supreme victory.
Iconic says Hisako is so sick. Yeah, she's cool. Really interesting mechanic, their ability to delay her different attacks by holding button down. Oh boy, Omen.
Before the Herald of Gargus.
Throwing a lot of heavies, huh? And the skulls. A lot of heavies today. Alright, let's see if we can do it. Nope. Missed the input. Fang says, ah yes, Omen. The little entity that possessed Jago because Gargos said, catch a body. Omen was free, right? I don't think he costs money. He's essentially kind of like a Decapre situation with Jago. Instead of like a blade, just lots of projectiles and a bit more mobility. He's cool. It's a slightly nuanced, different character, but not entirely a different character. I can't remember if Omen was free before they went free to play though. Like, I know there's a free to play version now. I don't have it because I've had this game forever. But I think Omen was a bonus. I don't remember. It's been a while. Alright, now we got Maya. Skulls. I remember in the earlier builds of KI when Spinal came out, his skull fireballs would not only drain the meter of the enemy, it would give him meter. Instinct and Shadow, I believe. But they changed that so that it's just a debuff. It doesn't give him anything. I don't think it was OP, but it was a lot stronger than what he's got now, for sure. Ah. Kicks. Core circle back kicks.
Supreme victory.
Saberwolf. We have to Ultra Saberwolf for the story ending, I think. Saberwolf was my main in the original KI. He's a lot of fun in this too. He's the first character I started learning, and probably maybe my 5th in line in the roster. He's very fast. A lot of his moves have to do with mix-ups and outspeeding the opponent. Alright. Just let this run. Bop.
Supreme victory.
Alright, who's next? Fulgor. Oh, I didn't see that I set it to beginner. If we do another one of these, I'll set it to normal or something like that. It's a little bit more challenging. Ooh. Ah. Now, Iconic, did you say that you main Fulgor? I know we were talking about it earlier, but who's your main in this game? You may have mentioned it to me in a previous stream. I might have just forgotten. Aw, come on. There it is, finally. Iconic says, I main Cinder, Idol, and Rom. That's right. I know you mentioned Idol earlier. 52. Fulgor is interesting in this game because he has that reactor meter thing above his shadow gauge. Like, his shadow gauge is pips. And so the more you attack, the faster that spins up and the faster he gains meter. Which is interesting. It forces you to play very aggressively with Fulgor. Oh, that was the last one. Oh, okay, this is the credits. Oh, let's see. Is it difficulty per run, or is it just the difficulty of the unlocks? Oh, 100% shadow efficiency. That means you don't waste any of your shadow meter when you're throwing it. It's actually something you have to pay attention to. Let's see. Who else? Iconic says, so they did change it because on launch, I think the reactor was only his meter. They could charge it manually. Yes, I don't believe Fulgor can charge manually anymore. I remember that. I know. We'll go back into the lab and take a look. For KI, I got a lot of my information from this game from watching Max play it. And I think his favorite character is Fulgor. So I got a lot of really good breakdowns of how the character works. But they kind of tweaked him a little bit across the different builds. And in the beginning, you could do like a manual charge to his meter. And I don't think he has that anymore. He does still have the Beam of Death too. I believe. Yeah, the charge would have been in here, I think. While Instinct active, heavies, fills 1 pip. Maybe he can only charge during Instinct mode now. It's not just a free move he can do whenever. Iconic says, yeah, Max is definitely sold and informed so many of this game. Yeah, plus he worked on it. He did the Season 2 character trailers, I believe. So let's see if we can kind of demonstrate. I'm not great with Fulgore. He's a lot of fun, but I wouldn't consider myself an expert with him. But you notice that the flywheel on the reactor is spinning slowly. So let's see. And I gotta figure out his moves. This is Cyber Dash. Okay, still has the Shoryu. That's right. Notice the more you attack, the faster that thing fills up. My pips are full, so let's do some shadow. Oh, it's because I have it set to infinite. Alright. There we go. So at optimum efficiency, every time the purple bar above the meter fills, it's 1 pip. And instinct mode. There it is. Yeah. They put that into his instinct mode specifically. Eye laser is core circle back, that's right. Oh, he's also got a forward heavy, which is just this 2-hitting spin. Also works pretty good as an opener. What if it took the big beam out? I thought he still had it. I didn't see it in the move list. That blast core thing is his instinct mode. I don't remember exactly how reactor cancels work. Let's see if they explain that somewhere. Plasma port. He can teleport, that's right. Bolt, eye laser, blade dash. Oh, blade dash in this. Throw. Reactor cancel. Fulgore can cancel special moves into another special in exchange for 1 pip. Ah. He gains enhanced mobility when his power reactor fills up. 4 pips improves forward walk speed. 8 pips improves backward walk speed. 10 pips improves dashing. I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. And he can consume pips in order to cancel special to special. That's kind of neat. So I wonder if that means just you do like dash to dash to dash. Yeah, technically you can. I don't think that's the most hits you would normally get, but all right, we can look at his ultra. What's his ultra since we're here? Shorter input punches. Okay. There we go. And then his finisher is a big burst at his feet. Alright. Yeah, Fulgore's fun. Again, not a character I'm super good with, but he's got a lot of neat tools. And he's one of the most reworked, too. They made a lot of changes to this character from the initial launch. Let's see. Before we get ready to wrap up for today, we've got a little bit more time. Who else do you folks want to see me demo here? From the main cast, we'll go back out to the character select. We'll open it up to the chat. Who do you want me to throw in here and to sort of do like a quick rundown? We did Spino. We did Maya. We looked very briefly at Fulgore. We'll take a look at potentially one more. I don't know if I have enough time to go all the way through another story mode round. Tell you what, I'm gonna go refill my water bottle, and let me know who you want me to showcase next for the demo here, and I'll be back in 1 minute. I'll just leave it on the screen here. All right. Oh, let's see. Get back in here. Okay, if nobody has any specific requests, I guess I can talk a little bit about... Let's go to Riptor. I had mentioned that she's probably my third in this game. Honestly, I cannot canonically remember in the original KI if they ever specifically stated that Riptor was female. I think it was implied. But I think it's officially part of the lore in this one. Riptor is basically a cybernetic, engineered, intelligent raptor. Should we just check fan list? Yep. Specifically mentions Riptor is a lady, a very classy lady. And so compared to some of the other types we've seen so far, we had Spinal, who's got a mix of resources, hazards, projectiles, and kind of a bit of control. Maya, who's a bit faster, some lockdown techniques, projectiles, and things that are meant to be really aggressive. Riptor is very much a rushdown character, which is probably why I play her. She's very quick. She can close distance and is meant for getting in your face and just mauling. That's right. And she's stance-based. She has this lower stance that can low-profile projectiles. It has a couple moves that come out of it, like that stab, which can open. It's command throw. One of Riptor's main openers is the shoulder tackle. It's a little bit slow at medium and heavy. Light one comes out decently fast, but medium and heavy one's got to be a little more careful with, otherwise it'll be punished when people block it. See. Oh, that's right. I know they added the kind of fire mortar, because like any genetically engineered cybernetic raptor, Riptor breathes fire. And you can use these projectiles, sort of like incoming hazards, to lock down the enemy. Sort of pounce, quarter circle forward kick. Good mobility, also works decently as an opener. Quarter circle back kick is the tail flip. A bit slower, comes in from an arc. Can be used as a pretty solid ender for a hard knockdown. And the shadow versions obviously get a bit more hits, a little more carry. And that's the pouncing ender. What else does she have? Primal linkers. Riptor can perform one-button linkers by pressing heavy punch or kick during a combo. I forgot about that. Yeah, that is true. So instead of inputting an actual linker like flip, dash, you can just use her heavies to mix things up. That is a little dangerous because people are going to just read heavy and do combo breakers with heavy. But that is an interesting option that she has that's kind of unique. That standing heavy with the fire is also just, it can combo into itself, which is kind of interesting. And the heavy version of the Primal Linker is the drill with the tail. You got throw. A flame carpet. Diagonal back, heavy punch. Backdash, forward dash. Predator mode is that low profile stance. And has its own moves out of that. This is, oh, standing heavy punches, right? The mortar. Okay. That's the carpet. Several hits low. I think you can cross up with it. Pretty good options for combo flow and keeping the opponent guessing while staying in their face. Like, aside from the mortar, Riptor doesn't do a whole lot from full screen and far away. Here's her different runs. Wait, she can kind of jump forward a little bit with her hop. But really, you're staying in someone's face when you're playing with this character. Let's see, what's her instinct? Oh. Faster run. Increased range on fire and tail strikes. So, instinct for Riptor. Oh yeah, that's... That includes the flip too. And faster rush down. Interesting buff. Basically, it means the Raptor that's already pretty quick and fast is going to be even faster. Iconic says, been fun watching you play and talking KI with you. Got to go now. Thanks for the great time. Hope you have a good rest of your stream. Alright, Iconic. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out today. It's been fun talking about KI, so I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Oh, first time chat from Cruel Caribou 652. What's up, Cruel Caribou? Welcome to the stream. We are taking a look at characters in KI, and the last one we'll probably look at today is the Angry Attack Raptor. So let's see. Where's her ultra? Let's take a look at her ultra. Back forward punches. And her ultimate. Oh, do I have the ultimates? We haven't looked at that yet. All right, let's do the regular ultra first. It looks like this. Lots of hits. Lots of hits. And then a big flame burst at the end on the way down for the finisher. Cruel Caribou says, how's your day going? Oh, my day's going good. I get to talk about fighting games, one of my favorites. How's your day going? Alright, let me test and see if I even have ultimates unlocked. Does not look like I have ultimates. That's fine. They're basically fatalities built in for certain characters that you throw. It's during Ultra, right? Yeah, I think I have to actually own it. That's okay. Yeah, maybe I'll look at doing that later. Cruel Caribou says, my day has been pretty okay. I'm playing some ranked KI right now. Ah, nice. I've not played ranked in this in a long time. I used to. The reason why we're visiting it here today is to introduce some people who might not have seen this game and kind of dust the rust off a little bit. Again, it's been a while. When we look at this game for Fighting Game Month coming up a little bit later in the fall, I wouldn't mind doing some actual competitive and ranked stuff. I'm going to get absolutely smoked, but I'd definitely be down for jumping on and playing some matches against some higher level people. Oh, I forgot she has that. Who do you main in this game, Cruel Caribou? That's what I've been asking people that have played this before that have stopped by the stream today. What's that? Oh, it's a different command throw. Forward. Back? Oh no, just regular command. Regular throw going forward, and back is the toss. Cruel Caribou says, what I would say about the game is what you said. I mean, as far as the amount of time that's passed since the game's been out. Feel free to mention your main too. Again, I just ask out of curiosity. If you don't want to say, you don't have to say either. I main Spinal. Spinal, then Maya, then probably Riptor. Play a lot of the cast. While they're in a staggered state, technically you can toss that throw and get them on the ground. And you can use that command throw as an ender as well. She combos pretty easily with the fire breath. That's fun. Cruel Caribou says, game's been out since 2013 and I've dumped 2,500 hours into it. And don't have a main. I use everyone because I think maining someone is boring. I have a top 5 though. Ah, I see. So you've been playing this a long time then. I've probably played this for a couple hundred hours across the different platforms I've owned it on, but it's been a long time, so I'm definitely not as high up there. Who are your top 5? Ah, Red Dragon's heading out. Alright, night Red Dragon. Thanks for hopping in today and hanging out. I will catch you later. I'll try and do the double ultra. Missed. Cruel Caribou says my top 5 are Shago, Thunder, Orchid, Hisako, and Riptor. Nice. I am not good with Shadow Jago or Thunder or Orchid. I've played a bit of Hisako and a decent amount of Riptor. There's a lot of the casts that I haven't played a ton of, but I've messed around with everybody. I kind of wanted to get really good with Glacius, just because I don't normally play zoners. I'm terrible at zoning. But the idea of full screen lockdowns and zoning shenanigans seemed pretty fun. So I'd be open to learning Glacius. Cruel Caribou says I put at least 20-30 hours into every character besides Eagle and Arya. Wow, that's impressive. You definitely know the cast pretty well. Usually for fighting games, I'll pick a handful of characters that really stand out and spend a lot of my time working on getting good with them. And then once I feel like I can compete, I'll branch out into the rest of the cast. It just depends. It's easier to do that on a smaller roster, obviously, but games like KI have such a varied roster of people that all play so differently, and it's really who vibes with your play style. Alright, let me try that double ultra one more time. Oh, whoops. That back forward input. There it goes. Nope, dropped it again. I see Sarlet has redeemed a stretch. Alright, let me try that one more time and then we'll wrap up. Oh, even pay attention. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Cruel Caribou. I appreciate it. I know I'm just messing around in lab mode here, trying to get the rust off, but hope you enjoy your stay. Cruel Caribou says, I learned my top 15, then I learned how to play every other character, just enough so I can contend with players, mains, if I don't use the characters out of my top 15 as much. Yeah, in this game you kind of have to do that because you need to be able to understand the normals in order to break them effectively. You need to know, what Jago's lights look like, what Jago's mediums and heavies look like if you want to be able to break them effectively. That's the real mind game. Alright, let me try this one more time. Alright. Could have strung the combo out longer, but finally it's double ultra. Uh-oh. And there it is. Cruel Caribou says, I started learning with regular Jago first because if you learn him, you learn the basics to 95% of the characters in the game. That's true. Jago does teach you a lot of the basic combo flow and how to navigate the game. You can apply to pretty much the rest of the cast. So if you pick him as a starter, it's not a bad choice. Plus he's very strong just in general. Sarlad said, enjoy your training arc. Bye, everyone. Alright, Sarlad. Thanks for hopping on. We're actually going to go take a look and find someone to raid, but thanks for tuning in. We will definitely be revisiting this game again soon. Let me leave this here. Again, I'm looking at doing fighting game month in November. And so I want to try and actually get some human matches in so you guys can watch me get murdered in real time. Let's see. Who is online that I know? Cruel Caribou says, I never gone to practice. All I did was get decent after getting beat on for a year in 2013, learning how to fight people instead of being used to fighting AI. Yeah, that's generally what I'll do after I've learned all of the basic moves for a character, is I'll go online and just get murdered against people who are actively out there playing. That's a good way to learn. Or if I have friends that play it, we'll do live matches and not just fight the computer. Although if you fight Kyle AI in this game and can beat Kyle AI, then you're definitely on your way. Oh, let's see. I wonder if there's any VTubers playing KI. It's probably not likely, but let's take a look. here's someone that's I don't think this person's VTuber. I don't think they have an avatar unless I can't see it. This person's playing KI, so we'll go raid them. Cruel Caribou says Ultimate Kyle AI are easy in my opinion. Well, then you're better than I am because I can't beat that AI, but maybe someday. All right, let me put this person's name in here. We will go and commence the raid. All right, let me mute this. We will go to outro. And just a real quick thank you to all the folks that stopped by. I think a lot of you folks are new, so I appreciate you coming in and listening to me talk about a game that I really like. We will be revisiting this one in the future, but until then, hope you all have a good evening, and I will catch you in the next stream. Now let's go say what's up to this other person playing KI.